Good morning, friends. Welcome back. And it is a Saturday here in Michigan, and it is 22 degrees, and that's like -5 or 6 or something in Celsius. I'm so glad I don't live in Celsius because 22 sounds cold, -5 or 6 sounds miserable to me. Welcome back to Homestead by the Highway, and we are going to talk about the garden. Let's plan it out. And I'm going to kind of show you what I've done in the past, which is it'll take about 10 seconds. I pick some seeds, I put them in the trays, and that's what I plant. But this year I'm actually going to try to plot out a little bit as to what's going to go in the garden cage and what do I need to plant? What do I need to move? What did I learn last year and the year before and didn't have it in the right spot? And I kind of wanted to share a little bit of the layout of my yard and as to why my garden cage ended up where it did, what obstacles that has brought to me, and that kind of stuff. But so I don't know if we'll get into specific seeds that I'm going to plant. I'll probably say that for the day that we are going to do seed starting, which will be 4 or 5 weeks from now. I will actually go ahead and start my seedlings and get those going. But let's plot it out. Let's talk about some of the things that I use as resources and where do we go from here. So one of the things that I just go goo-goo-ah over is seed catalogs. And I should say catalog. I have one that I have gotten that I love to learn from. I don't even know if I've ordered seeds from them. I'd have to dig through my seeds, and that may sound crazy and horrible, but I should have pulled out my first one. This is from Baker Creek. This is their seed catalog. If anybody is old enough to remember the old Sears and JCPenney's Christmas catalogs, that is how big this bad boy is. And in my zone, I'm zone 6. I probably can't grow, I don't know. I could probably grow 75% in here if I worked at it. And anybody who knows me knows I don't like to work too hard at it because then it's not fun. And so I do love to get this catalog each year, though. This one I paid for and got back in November and have not even had the chance to dig through it. There is so much more in these than just seeds for sale. There's so much information about other things, how to cook with things, how to preserve things, just random articles. I'm looking for the descriptions of each of the seeds, though, is crazy. Here they're talking about corn salad. Oh, I should have tagged. These are some of their carrots. Is that not crazy? I don't know if you can see that because it's trying to focus on my face. But I wouldn't grow carrots that deep because I wouldn't have the fluffy enough soil for them to go that deep into the ground. Here's a recipe for General Chow's cauliflower there. So there's so much. This one had recipes. My favorite one was my first one that I got, and it was all about pharmacy and how they started using herbs and how the whole pharmacy came into play. And it was so cool that that was my first catalog, because if you watch my last video, I am a pharmacy tech by nature. And so I found that catalog very, very interesting. I love it. I love this catalog. I can't remember what I paid for it. This is $14.95 on the thing. Sometimes you can find them at your Tractor Supply or your Farm and Fleets. I don't even know if that one still exists anymore. Your farm stores will get the Baker Seed catalog. And this is the whole catalog. They do a free little catalog as well, which I'm not sure if that's what they just sent me. So this is a catalog that I just got in the mail, I think yesterday or the day before. But this one, this is seeds is what they're showing in here. They do, this one page is about their microgreens. I'm trying to hide. Hopefully you can see these and they're coming in focus. So this is a seed. Here are our seeds. Here is our catalog. please buy our seeds kind of thing. I've not strummed through this one, so I hope that they have a whole page of garden tools, upside down, kind of thing. So those are the seed catalogs. I love to peruse these and just to learn. Even if I'm not growing their exact seed packet, if I'm growing the same seed variety, I might read what additional tips they have about planting or whatnot. If there's something that I've struggled with, and I just happen to open to peppers. Peppers are my struggle. And anybody who knows me knows that. But we're gonna do that right this year. Oh, they have a pepper candy cane chocolate cherry is the name of this pepper. I don't know if this will focus for you or not. That one right there. It looks so cool. All right, so that's enough on the seed catalogs, because like I said, I don't even know if I ordered from Baker Seed. Maybe once. So I wanted to share with you, this is my seed box. This is where I keep my seeds. Just decorated with some stickers from one of the YouTube channels that I watch and I love. It's Roots and Refuge Farm. If you don't watch them, I've learned so much from Jess and Maya. Jess is actually a lot of the inspiration for what I do and why I do it and why I'm doing this. So these are how I store my seeds. This is a photo case from a craft store. They do have ones that are colored. I labeled them. I don't know if anything's gonna focus, but I have them labeled. I have them in these. These are all the different varieties of peas that I have. I do not, some people have like 3, 4, 5, and 7 of these. I don't have a big garden and I don't want to overstock on seeds. I don't think there's any need for it, because if you get to the point to where your supply is being depleted, you can save your seeds from the things that you're growing. And it's very, very easy. And then you'll have those to replace the ones that you used once you get your supply down. What I have in here is a big variety, as I'm trying to learn what varieties I like and what varieties I don't like. I know I grew beans one year and they were cool, and I got, I don't know, several pounds of them off the few plants that I planted, but I did not like the beans at all. I don't know, they were too skinny, the string on them and all that stuff. I didn't like them. They were edible, they were good, they tasted good. They just weren't my bean that I wanted to be growing. I do keep all my seeds in here. This is a new item we're gonna try this year. I have a couple of really exciting new ones that I'm gonna try. I'm so excited. One other big thing this year that is going to happen out in the garden, my daughter and son-in-law bought me a drip irrigation system. So I'm going to figure out where I want to put that so that I can just hook up. I will have to run the hose and just connect the hose at some point, different points when we're like mowing our lawn and that kind of stuff, because I don't plan on burying a hose. But I'm excited to put that into part of, I don't know if I want to put it in the garden cage or out in the bed. So I need to figure that out as well. So let's draw this out. So you're going to lose me because I'm going to put you right down on my paper. And I'm going to kind of walk you through what I have where currently and what I've learned and what I'm going to stop doing. So let's move you down here. And I just got a giant sheet of paper and we're going to just kind of draw this out. I've never done this before. Kind of makes it official, huh? All right, so we're gonna kind of draw this out. Unfortunately, I have can lights. So you're gonna get a lot of shadows. We can do shadow people and that kind of stuff. But hopefully this will work. So I am not a drawer and I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. So this is gonna be very, all right, so this is my house. That's gonna be upside down to you. This is a flower bed that I have all the way around. This is actually filled in with red rock that I slowly keep moving. So I think it's red rock to about right here now. I keep digging stuff up. Last year we put potatoes here. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. And this here, there's a little egress window here. This here right now is all weeds because I haven't been planning. I keep moving my stuff closer and closer. So, but out back, let's go out back. I'm gonna oversize this so I can write in it. So this is what I call my garden cage. I'm sure there's probably some fancy name for it. My husband built me this U-shaped thing, and I had him put chicken wire around it. So the sides come up with chicken wire so that the deer won't come in and just eat from my plants. So there's a gated door here, and I just go in, and this I have is filled with coconut coir. I just bought a couple of blocks of it from Sam's Club or Costco, one or the other, and hydrated them and just filled this with that. Underneath that is I just put a bunch of cardboard and stuff. So this is the garden cage. Next to the garden cage, we loved the location of this aesthetically when we built it and put it there. And we're so excited about, oh, this will work out great because right here we have a shed. And the shed. So this is in line with this. You can get a mower in between here. And so it was great. What I didn't take into consideration was right here, I have a walnut tree. And this does get sun. People will say you can't grow things near black walnut trees. Well, I do. And it works. Does it get as much sun as I wish it did? No. So that's where I have to plan what I'm going to plant. I put green peppers down here the last couple of years. I've gotten a few peppers, but not like peppers like I should. So what I'm going to do is my peppers need more sun, and this end gets the most sun. So I'm going to put my peppers down here so that they are getting the most sun. And I'm going to put tomatoes at this end as well on both sides, which I have done in the past, and they have done very, very well. I've done tomatoes from here to like there on both sides. One year, I think I put tomatillos in here. I had bought just one plant from the farmer's market, and you really should have more than one plant, and I got a few off of it, but nothing worth saying that I did anything with them. So I'm going to put peppers in here. Last year when I did my really, really, really early planting, I put all of my carrots and cilantro, and I tried to grow radishes in here. And if you want to see those funny videos, I can, they're in my playlist. Some of them are titled What Happened to the Carrots, and I did get carrots. They were about the size of they were only about that big, maybe, kind of thing. So they took forever, and they ate up all this valuable sunshine space. So that I found very disheartening. So this year I'm going to do carrots. I'm going to succession plant them. Down this. And I'm going to try to do radishes down the front of this. That being said, I also put in a lot of marigolds. So I'll have my tomatoes here, my radishes, but I'm going to do some marigolds at both ends, and they help with critters and bugs and all the things, and they just look so pretty. The ones I got last year, I couldn't find any. First of all, there was like a shortage on marigolds, and I didn't plant any of my own, so I will plant my own this year. But there was a marigold shortage. I couldn't find any of the nurseries had any marigolds. All the marigolds were in pots that they had made up all pretty, and So, but these marigolds that I got, some of them were like softball sized in my hand. They were or baseball size, I should say. Baseball size. They were just huge and gorgeous. So I am going to put in more marigolds just because I like them, and they've done good, and I don't have a lot of pest problems. I haven't yet, and I know the more you garden, the more they find your garden. But I'm going to stick with the marigold plan because I think it does well. I'm going to find something, probably I will put 4 peppers in this section here, but I will probably find something that I can put along the section here. Something that's shorter, maybe doesn't need as much sun. Even maybe I'll just put marigolds across the front. But I will fill in that space there so it's not wasted space. These corner spots have always been beans and cucumbers. And I think this year I am going to do, I never get enough cucumbers. I get like 2 a week, but I only plant like 3 plants. So I'm gonna fill the corners, I think, with cukes on both sides. So that way I can get a better harvest, because cucumbers, unless you're making pickles, they really, you have to eat them within the week. And I don't mind. I love them. I will eat them before they don't even half the time make it into the house. So I want more cucumbers on both of the corners there, and I will do beans differently. So that's kind of what's going to happen in the garden cage. Out here, so out here this year, we planted 3 apple trees. So they won't, we won't, I know we won't get apples from them this year. It'll be a couple years before we get apples. They were good sized trees, but they're not going to be fruiting for a couple of years. And if they do, I will probably just pull them, because they won't pull the fruit, because the fruit would break them. They're still small, too small to hold like a good sized apple. I think one is called, 2 are Candy Crisp, and one is Wine Sap, I believe is what we have out there. So those are our apple trees out there. Right here, not drawn to size, by the way, is a giant walnut tree stump. And on this, I put my Stacky planter that stacks up, and it has all the tiers and the little cubbies. And I actually got 2 more this year. I have my Mr. Stacky that my husband bought me, which I love, and is made in the USA if you go look it up. As well as I have 2 Greenstalk planters, and I used birthday and Christmas money and bought 2 Greenstalk planters. So those 3, I think I can get all 3 of them on top of this stump. So those are going to go there. My goal is to fill 1 with strawberries and 1 with herbs. I do want to put up more herbs and do more dehydrating. I love having my own parsley in the off season. It is so yummy, amazing, and I just know that the organic prices, I don't mind paying them because it is organic, but I know that I don't use anything in my garden, so I know that my stuff is what's on it or what I didn't use or didn't use. And then this one here, I think, is going to be a lettuce salad bar thing. That is what I'm thinking. I would like this whole thing. Not having lettuce last year pretty near killed me. I was so disappointed because I wanted, when I put those carrots and stuff there, I thought they would all be out in time for me to put lettuce and stuff in there, and totally did not happen. So I had no lettuce last year, and I don't know what it is about store-bought lettuce. When I eat it, even if I buy the organic, I have to like go brush my teeth immediately. There's something about it. I don't like it. The lettuce, I think I want to do like a whole lettuce salad bar thing, because I could eat lettuce salad all the time. All right, so I'm going to turn this a little bit for you, since I can't write upside down. Let's try that. So this is where we're at. We've got the garden cage, and then the 3 Mr. Stackies, my walnut tree, and then out here This is nowhere near this, by the way. It's halfway across my yard. There's a giant bush that flowers in the spring that is the sweetest. I could almost eat the flowers. I should find out if they're edible. And there's at each end, and in between, I have this long planter box. In here, we have blueberries. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 out there. They're not spaced right, and so I'm going to move some of these around so it'll open up. One could be a little closer than what they are, but 2, the one I don't think I've ever gotten blueberries on, but I don't want to give up on it. So we're going to open up this end and we're going to move this plant down in here, and it'll still have plenty of room. So I'm going to move that plant so I will be able to put something here. And my thought is I want to put in a couple of pumpkin plants. And so these are blueberries. Here down to about, I don't think it's as far this year. Here is my garlic. I did not put in as much garlic as I have ever put in. This is going to be a really small garlic patch this year. I think I might have done around 100 cloves. I would have to look at my notes. I think there's a little over 100 cloves in here, and I usually do closer to 200. So that is where the garlic is. So that is there, and nothing else is going to go there until I pull this in June, July. Then I'm going to do what I did last year because I thought it worked out great. I'm going to do beans. That way, as these beans, and what else do you, snow peas. As these grow, I'm going to have all of this going on and coming into the house, and it's going to have to be preserved and eaten and all the things. These are going to have to be eaten fresh, most of them. The lettuce doesn't preserve well unless you like to powder it down and put it in smoothies and stuff like that. Not my thing. The lettuce here, strawberries, those can be preserved, and I don't think we'll get that many this year. I hope we do. But that's going to be more of a plant it for future project. So those are the strawberries. So then these will be coming in the fall, which will be great. These will be fall. These will be fall. These start coming in end of June, July is when the blueberries come in. The garlic comes in June, July. And then I'll be able to convert this over to this. So that way I used to leave this totally empty and plant nothing. And what a waste of space and ground. And I have such a short growing season anyways. I want to make sure that I'm utilizing it. And I really want to find a good bean. I loved the snow peas. Though none of those made it into the house either. I just ate them out there kind of thing. So I'm going to do beans and snow peas there. Down here last year, I did just 2 zucchini plants right at the end, just 2. And this one here, I think it gave me like 8 or 10 zucchini. And this one here, I think gave me like 2, which was more zucchini than I could use. I have it frozen. I have it dehydrated and stuff like that. If you want to know how to use those, let me know in the comments below, the dehydrated stuff. But so I had 2 zucchini plants. I don't know as though I want to do zucchini again because I still have so much. But I feel like I might go through it, and then if I don't, all right, so let's look at potentials here. Zucchini, maybe. I've got pumpkins down here. And here is one thing that I would like to say. Plant what you eat. We don't eat squash, so I don't plant squash. I do eat spaghetti squash once in a while. Plant what you eat. Don't plant it because everybody grows it and they get a plethora of it. I swore I would never grow zucchini, and then I'm like, oh, I do use a little bit of zucchini, and I have figured out how to incorporate it into foods, and nobody knows it's there, and we have the benefits of it, and it stretches the meal a little bit further. So zucchini was a good thing. The other thing I like about the zucchini, maybe I'm going to have to plant plant zucchini. Mock pineapple. I'm writing this on here, so as I think about, do I need to make mock pineapple? If you can turn zucchini into pineapple, and it tastes like the pineapple. The texture is a tiny bit different because zucchini is smoother. It doesn't have the texture. When my daughter ate it, she thought it was pears. So zucchini takes on the flavor of whatever you're cooking, if you cook it with something or as something. So I did try, I only did, I think, like 6 jars to try it to see if we liked it and would eat it. And I love it on cottage cheese. So I might have to do zucchini. And then I just looked over and I just remembered I bought these from a gal online, and she did this little card. It's so cute. But I got, this is one of my fun projects I'm going to do, loofah. I want to grow loofah. And so this, I probably should start tomorrow because these take forever, is what I'm reading and hearing. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8 seeds. I will not plant all 8 plants. Maybe, do I want to do 4 and 4? All right, so I'm thinking this loofah might need to go down here. So loofah needs to be trellised. So we'd have to find some way to trellis it. The other thing that I want to do, I told you guys there's stuff that I want to try, big dreams. I would love to try to grow these birdhouse gourds. I think they are gorgeous. I don't plan on crafting them, or they sell them at craft shows for wood burn them or whatever they do to them, and they are just gorgeous. And so I wanted to try to grow some for fun. So that is the other thing. So these would need a trellis. So I could do a trellis from there to there and put these 2 things there, and I could still put a zucchini plant on the end if I needed to. So I'm gonna have to read about these 2 some more and figure out. So these birdhouse things say that they don't need to be trellised, but I think they would do better. You can grow 10 to 16 foot vines on the ground or up a very sturdy trellis. Matures in 95 to 110 days. They also attract hummingbirds, which we do have hummingbirds out here. We have a couple that we know are the ones that come back every year because they have very unique features. Very cool. Start 2 to 4 weeks before your average frost date. So in biodegradable pots that can be directly planted into the ground. So that's a good note. Oh, here's something kind of cool. Nick the seed with a file or nail clipper, or soak for 12 to 24 hours before sowing. Huh. So that gives them a head start. And when you open up, this is from Botanical Interest. When you open up their seed packets, I've showed it on one of my videos. On the inside, there's a ton more information on it. It says on the inside of this packet, it tells you how to dry out the gourds and turn them into these birdhouses. So I thought this would be fun to grow and cool to grow. I do think I want to trellis it and not grow it across the ground though. So I'll have to think that out. I do have all of this open around my house. Oh, I also have squirrel. Here, I have a new planter box. It is massive. There's no dirt in it yet. And I went back and forth about what I wanted to do with it. And I think I want to fill it and turn it into a flower bed to invite good pollinators and stuff like that. I think just some tall, beautiful flowers and some short flowers. And I have a vision in my head of what might go in here. I just want to fill this with all kinds of flowers. The thing with that is I have no dirt in it. And we would have to go get, I bet you, 2 truckloads of dirt, and we sold our truck. So I would have to have dirt brought in. So this needs dirt. I've been throwing like some leaves and some sticks that have fallen from our other trees into this. and we can just throw dirt on top of it, that's fine. But this will hold a lot of dirt. But I want to turn that into a flower bed. The other idea, oh, there is another tree stump here that I have random pots on that I try to grow stuff in, and we'll see if they come to fruition. Can't remember what's out there. We bought some, I think, raspberry bushes. It was like a single stock thing from Costco or Sam's Club, but I think that 2 of them, the squirrels, or probably our little red squirrels, dug up and broke. So I don't know if they're going to make it. And the other 2, I don't know, but they're sitting. So I have 4 pots sitting here that had, I think, raspberries in them. But I thought about this area here, covering it with dirt and doing a roof stout style potato and onion bed. I don't know. It's all grass right now, and I don't know if I want to bring in more dirt to cover this. I would just fill it with dirt and compost and that kind of stuff, and do the root stout method that I used up here in the corner when I did the potatoes, that little test section. But I don't know if that is too grandiose for my dreams, and can I manage it, or am I going to be frustrated with it? I do know that I have limits. I get tired very, very easily. Some days I come home from work and can't even barely function, and so I have to keep myself in check sometimes. Although I would love to have my own potatoes and onions, I need to think about is, and I loved planting them that way, the way that I did up here, but is that too much? But this is my dream, maybe. Because the way this stuff out here is laid out, it would make it easier to mow out there. My husband does all the mowing, bless his heart, and he does all of the trimming around this crazy bed here and that kind of stuff. And it would square this section off. Like I said, I don't draw it a size. It would square the section off, so it would be a nice square to mow around versus in between this, out of that, and all the things. So that's a dream. But my thought might be, I don't think I get enough sun here, because yet right here we have another walnut tree. So I don't think this would get enough sun to grow much. Some shade flowers maybe, but I don't know as far as stuff that we can. So the lava rocks might stay for another year. I keep pushing them. They started down here, and every year I just keep pushing them down and taking over another section all through this area here and in the lava rocks. And we have those wild strawberries that are tasteless and useless, and they're cute. And I was all excited that some bird started this for me, only to find out that I have their false strawberries or fake strawberries, and they're dry and icky and useless and just a pain. So this has that scattered throughout it. So I may just keep with doing potatoes here, and I really would like to do onions, but I've tried them both in pots twice, and it didn't work out very well. But maybe I'll do that again as well. I've got several big planters that I could do them in. So potatoes and onions maybe here. So our house, this flower bed goes all the way, 3/4 of the way around the house. And down this side, I just usually put a bunch of flowers. I have 6 or 7 different perennials. On my corner, I have a hibiscus. Down the front, I have a red hot poker plant that comes up every year. At this end, I have a mum that comes up every year. I'm trying to think of what other perennials I have down the front. I don't think I have any. I didn't do any last year. Every year I try to put in 2 or 3, because I figure if I put in 2 or 3, it's less I have to plant the following year. And I don't mind putting in some flats of flowers and stuff like that to fill in and whatnot, but I really like the thought of it's going to do its thing and it's going to plant itself. And I don't put in any bulbs that have to be dug up every year. And I really do try to keep it simple, because I want to be able to enjoy my garden, and I don't want it to ever turn into work in regards to that. So that is kind of the plan. I am not going to get into seeds, which seeds I'm going to be using. I think I will save that for the seed video. And I have plenty spring and fall. They don't like the heat in the middle of the summer. They start to get bitter and just taste off. So that was the one thing in putting it in this, is when they start to go bad, I can pop them out. I can wait 3 or 4 weeks till we get through the major part of the heat. Maybe I'm being optimistic, probably 7 weeks to get through the optimum part of the heat, and then plant seeds again, and then I will have them into the fall. And I do have covers that go over these to help with frost and stuff like that. So your lettuces, if you keep them covered, you can grow them into the frosty, even snowy winter, even where I'm at. So we can have them a little bit before it gets bitter cold. All right, friends, so that's the initial plan for the garden this year. We'll see what really happens. I will use this and I'll start pulling seeds and stuff like that before I start my seeds, and we'll fold this all up. And at the end of the year, in like October, November, maybe it'll be a little winter project, we will look at what we really did and what we really didn't do. And what I totally changed my mind on once I got out there into the actual space and went, oh, that's totally not going to work. It works on paper, but it doesn't work out here in the dirt. So we'll see what happens. But thank you so much for coming along as I plot out the garden for 2023. And we will see you again. I have other videos from last year's garden if you'd like to go check those out, because you are cooped up in the winter and just need some sunshine in your day to see what we're harvesting and stuff. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you again soon. Thanks so much, friends. Bye.